Forget politics, forget opinions. If you really are interested in understanding where the world is going, follow the money. Look at where the money is going, because that's where precisely the world is gonna go. How many of us would love to know where the world is going? What is really happening behind the scenes? Because once you know that, you can position yourself to win. Remember, I think I shot a video in this channel called The Art of Positioning. If not, drop me a comment here if you want me to do that. Because knowing how to position yourself in different fields, in different environments, from real social dynamics to business to investments, is the most important skill that someone could learn to make a lot of money and to change his life. But if we really want to know how to position ourselves in the money game, we need to understand where the world is going, right? And how do you get it? Because we're overwhelmed with news, we're overwhelmed with inputs and ideas and people talking on social media like me, and then you're like, Giorgio, but tell me the truth, where the world is going, where should I invest my money, where should I stop. Don't listen to me. I don't want to give you a fish. I want to give you a fish can so you can get out there and fish yourself, right? So I want to give you tools that you can use yourself. So in today's video, we're going to dive straight into follow the money. The concept of understanding where the world is going based on what the money is doing. Remember, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't get into politics and ideologies, but we live, especially 95% of the world, in a capitalistic society. So the money oftentimes, too often I would say, is the ruler. Where the money goes, the world follows. Again, guys, we can debate on this is right, this is wrong, money going into war and money is buying weapons to be given to Ukraine and Russia and this and that. And we can stay on and on here. I don't want to be the one who basically puts his emotionalities into things. I want to be the one who just tells you how you can be the one changing your life and the loved ones next to you. Why do I do this? Why I don't get my sword out and fight for the people and I don't fight for freedom? Because you will get to the point of understanding that even if you did that, majority of people who moan and cry and complain, they would not follow. They don't have the time. They don't have the intention. They say, yeah, you're right, we should not spend this money to the war. And then you're like, hey, okay, let's go and talk in the squares. Let's go give speeches, let's do manifestations, let's do strikes. No, but I cannot do a strike, because if I do a strike, then my boss fires me and then this happens. And you will get to the point of understanding where the masses are where they are because they chose to be where they are, consciously or unconsciously. Society is built in a way that either we do a revolution, like Karl Marx used to say, or it's gonna keep going the way it's going. Funny enough, people want to change, but they're not willing to change. So today we're gonna focus on where the money is going so that you can position yourself to win. Law number one of money. Money flies and moves faster than laws in the 21st century. Money moves faster than laws. Back then, and still today to some degrees, they created a law and then money flew in that direction. Now it's different. Now the AI, for example, talking about the future, is creating a new wave of things deregulated. Think of it. Sam Altman was saying back then, yeah, the AI, it's risky, we should do this, we should do that. And now he's giving speeches saying, no, we shouldn't be regulated because if not, China's gonna beat us. And basically, this is gonna be the next gold rush. All these AI companies, which at the end of the day are just 4 and 5, are running towards a deregulated market to grasp as much as they can. And it's wild. The laws are actually behind. So the private space is teaching governments how to do. They are calling out governors because they don't know things. And I don't know if you saw the speech of, I think it's the director of education in USA, that she's still behind, and she's saying, yeah, the schools should have some kind of AI, and she was talking about the AI 2.0. We're at the 5.0 at the moment. Like, it's nuts. Like, the government system is not catching up with all the new movements. I cannot catch up. You cannot catch up. Imagine the bureaucracy of a government, especially in Europe. They are so old and they are not fast as Americans. They try to regulate it. They actually did the AI Act recently. They try to prevent, and there is this fight between preventing the future to be negative and bad with AI and regulating too much so that companies, especially in Europe, are not growing so much into the AI space. It's wild, but just to give you the number one rule, money flies faster than laws. Laws will have to catch up with the money, and it's hard because, especially with this AI thing, the world goes fast. Money goes fast, investments, capitalism, and laws are more like a socialist thing, right? We have to vote, everyone has to agree, we do this for everyone, we have to go through step 1, through step 2, through step 3, and meanwhile the AI is already at ChatGPT 7.9. This is how it goes. So money gives you blueprint. If you follow it and if you have the right information, if you see where the investments are going, if you look at certain charts, you will be like, okay, so they're gonna be regulating this. Look, for example, at the crypto space, right? The crypto space from 2020 till basically today, it's not being regulated so much. In 2025, it was the moment where they regulated it, right? The Genius Act, the Clarity Act, the Bitcoin Act, the MiCA in Europe. They are regulating it. So look at the run of new millionaires in 2020 till today. A lot of people made a lot of money. Why? Because it was deregulated. Now it's been regulated, which doesn't mean you cannot make money anymore, but it's a different game. The laws caught up, and now it's a different game where you can definitely see make a lot of money. And in this channel, I talk a lot about how you can make money positioning yourself in these markets before the big institutional money comes in. And I tell you, it's going to be a time of 1 to 2, 3 years. At the same time, it's going to happen the same with AI. So follow the money, not the laws. Rule number 2. Money doesn't care about morals, it cares about returns. That's the ugly truth of money. It's a tool and wants and loves to be multiplicated. And if you think of money, the only reason someone invests money in a stock or in a company or an IPO is because they want their money to multiply. So in order for their money to multiply and do different jobs, the companies or the stocks you buy, which are companies, they need to grow, right? So the main goal of all this money coming from pension funds, common funds, hedge funds, is that something grows. So in order for something to grow, guess what they have to do? They have to multiply, right? They have to returns. That's the only word that investors know. Return on investment. What's the return on investment? So oftentimes, as multiplying money is not easy, it's hard. Companies don't have morals as the number one priority. That's why capitalism needs to be checked. Because if not, you just give these people all the space to just do less moral things to have higher returns. And we all know this, right? Steve Jobs and Apple was the first company to have Chinese children to work on their manufacturing. Zara and H&M and these companies, we all know the bad things they do behind the scenes. So tricky. But remember, money doesn't follow morals. And the rule number 3 of money, if you want to follow it, is that money goes where there is safety and exponential growth. So these two combined things are where the money proliferate. If you want to see where to put your money, look at where is the safest place to do it, combined with the safest and most disruptive growth. Look at, for example, people going out of UK. The highest number of people flying out of the UK, it's millionaires flying out of UK. It's impressive. Why? Because most probably they don't feel that that's the safest place to grow, and that's where the money can double and triple easier. So they move to Dubai, for example, places where the tax rates are lower, more safety, and there is this push for innovation, this push for growth, this push for, hey, I invest this money into real estate and it grows, it doubles, it triples. The oldest countries in Europe, UK, if you want to consider it Europe, or France, or Italy, or Spain, or Portugal, or Germany, a lot of people are flying out. It's a new trend, let's say, because now with this geopolitical situation and also the fact that you can travel easily and you can get residencies around the world, why the heck should money be sitting in a place where it's not safe? They could lock your bank account. They could just tell you, hey, you know what? I don't think you were paying enough taxes. Let me just lock your bank account and do a verification process on you. And on top of that, it doesn't multiply quickly. There is not so much growth, opportunities, so much bureaucracy, contracts and stuff. Isn't it better for money to just flow somewhere else? The answer is yes, and money always does that. So remember, people can talk a lot, but the facts shout. There's an amazing sentence that says, I cannot hear your words because your facts shout too loud. And this is so true with money. So don't follow the beauty of the speech of a person. Follow where this person is putting his money. So don't believe the common narrative of Bitcoin, it's not safe, step by step. Because if these people are moving trillions of dollars into the crypto market, they're buying Bitcoin. Ray Dalio is saying that 50% of the allocation should be between gold and Bitcoin. And BlackRock and Larry Fink, like US, Russia, China, are investing in Bitcoin. On top of that, imagine in Europe, the director of the Bank of Czech Republic, it's proposing to put 5% of 140 billions into Bitcoin. If Grant Cardone is taking the cash flow he makes from his real estate and it's buying Bitcoin, people are talking one thing and they're doing another thing. Especially institutionals are amazingly good at doing this. Why? Because they want to get their hands on the gold before everyone else does. So don't follow what people say, follow what people do. You want to really see where governments and states are investing their money? Go look at the balance sheets that they do to where the money is going. You know, they collect money through taxes. Where are they investing it? They can say A, they can say B, but if the balance sheet says, hey, we're investing 20% of our money into weapons, guess what? Another war is coming. No, we want peace, we want peace. If they're producing weapons, it's because they're preparing for another war. What if wars need to exist because they cannot stop the weapon creation machine? They need wars to have the demand for these big lobbies and companies. Look at the lobbies, look at the spending government sheets, and look at the big companies that they unite, they grow, and they merge with other big companies. Because what they do is what the world will do. Very few companies control majority of the things. Very few states control majority of the flows. Go check that. Make your choices.